everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Sideline. My name is Rishi,
My name is Asher Hire.
and we got a great show here. Big news in the baseball thing. World Series set. It'll be starting tomorrow. The day we're recording this Monday. So it will be game 2 will be happening when this episode is uploaded. It is finally set. Atlanta versus Houston. This is the best case of the 4 teams, in my opinion. I would have wanted Boston, but
Yeah.
I don't really like. It's not really that big of a deal, but I definitely did not want the Dodgers.
Yeah.
I'm really happy Atlanta got in.
Yeah, I am too. And I mean, like you said, I probably wanted the Red Sox too, but I don't mind Houston as much as other people. Like the whole cheating thing, that was messed up, but I mean, everyone kind of cheats.
Yeah.
In the
It happened
MLB,
it happened 4 years ago.
And that 2017 was still a very good team.
Yeah, I think
they deserved that World Series, I think.
Yeah, they would have been good. They would have been fun.
Yeah. And again, another super good team. This time, and Atlanta beating LA, that really made me happy. I like at the end of the year when Dodgers win the same amount of rings as the Rockies.
Yeah.
Makes me happy. So
when they play 10 more games than us,
Yeah.
I really like Atlanta. I think that they're a very, very fun team. They're a very easy team to root for. With all the stuff that's happened with them, their outfield has gotten all sorts of messed up with stuff, and the fact that they're even in the World Series right now is just insane. It just shows how crazy baseball can get.
Eddie Rosario has been
on
a mission this play.
Ridiculous. They got him for nothing. They traded Pablo Sandoval for him.
Yeah.
And he's their best player in the postseason.
And that's what the playoffs can do, man.
It's like that 1 year, 2018, Eric Kratz was the best player on the field for no reason. The most random players just they're gonna.
Last year it was Randy Arozarena when no one knew.
He came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
No, I think this is gonna be a really fun series. I think Houston's the better team overall. I think because of their offense is their offense is 70,
so stacked.
50.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think 80.
Yeah, Yordan Alvarez. We talked about Eddie Rosario. He was ridiculous. Yordan Alvarez was arguably better somehow in the ALCS, and he was on fire. He's gonna pose such a huge mismatch.
Yeah.
It's gonna be weird how they use him because I know he was part of that 2019 team when they lost to Washington. I don't remember if they played him in the outfield or if they played him at first base.
I don't either.
Because he's a strictly DH.
I think he plays outfield. I feel like I've seen him in the outfield a couple times.
Yeah. He just looks like a first baseman. He
does.
Massive. He just seems like he'd be a first baseman, but he could also be a right fielder or something.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's going to be interesting how they use him when they play in Atlanta, because he's been their best player so far this postseason. And he's a tank. So if he can get going, then I think they probably win in 6 just because that offense is unbeatable. But
I think Atlanta's got the better pitching. But like you said, that offense, it just comes at you in waves. They'll score 7 runs an inning just out of nowhere. And I stop them at times.
Houston's bullpen is pretty good, but their starting pitching can be pretty flaky.
Especially, I think Lance McCullers is out.
Yeah, he's not going to pitch in the World Series, so that their ace is gone.
Yeah.
They still have Zach Greinke. I don't really know what they're planning with. I've seen him come out of the pen. I've seen him start.
Yeah.
I think
he hasn't really pitched well.
Yeah, he hasn't played. I don't even think he's pitched a lot lately. He hasn't been in the lineup. If he's at their best, then I think they'll definitely be fine. But that pitching can get a little shaky. I think Houston wins in 6 personally. But if Atlanta's offense can get hot like they were in the first few games of the NLCS, I think they definitely have a good chance.
I'll agree. I think, either Houston and even maybe 5. For me, either 5 or 6. I think we've already said it. The offense, unstoppable. Even with that good pitching in Atlanta, I think that offense can beat any pitching staff, really.
Yeah. They're just gonna start teeing off on Luke Jackson the second he comes.
Yeah,
he had a rough postseason. Hopefully he can get it together.
Tyler Matzek just saves.
Oh my God, he has balls of steel. Somehow he was on the Rockies. Somehow they
Messed him up.
but
Yeah.
of course they messed him up too. I'm glad. I'm happy for him.
He was a first-round pick by the Rockies.
Yeah, I'm really happy for him. I'm pretty sure he was like a similar situation with Daniel Bard, where like he struggled with depression and all this, anxiety, and he kind of like forgot how to pitch. Basically, he was out of the league for a bit, and he's back, and now he's their best reliever, and he's been the best reliever in the postseason, and that's huge. That's big.
I mean, in 2019, so literally, like even like less than 2 years ago, he was with the Texas Air Hogs. Have you ever heard of them?
No.
No.
Is that an independent league?
Yeah, it is.
Oh my God.
Texas Air Hogs. And now he's just on the biggest stage, striking everyone out with that 98 mile per hour fastball.
Yeah. Jeez, that stretch where it was Pujols, Souza, and then Betts.
Yeah.
Game 6, and nobody out, second and third, tying runs on second. Strikeout. Ridiculous. He's been insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Houston 6. You're pretty safe.
I'll go. Right? Yeah. I'll go Houston in 6 too.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna go. Never mind, 6. I was gonna say 7 just because Game 6 is gonna be in Atlanta.
Is it?
But I don't know.
I thought it's
wait. I'm getting. Never mind.
Yeah, it's the 2-3-2.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, if Atlanta can split one in Houston, they have a great chance at winning in like 5.
That's true. All right.
But
yeah, I'll go Houston in 6.
I thought Houston was gone in 5 after Red Sox won Game 3. I thought they were gone.
I know.
I thought they were out, but they responded so well.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's going to be a very good series. It's going to be a really entertaining series.
But then we can move on to NBA here. I mean, it's only been like 3 to 4 games for each team so far. Just 1 week in. I think Miles Bridges won Eastern Conference Player of the Week, and I'm blanking on who won.
It was
Western.
Steph Curry.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And so far, I mean, the Lakers are struggling. The Bulls look good. I mean, that's kind of like my biggest kind of takeaways so far this year.
Mm-hmm.
So far is just, I mean, the Lakers can't
shoot.
Yeah, they can't shoot.
So they won last night because they finally got some shooting. I mean, Carmelo Anthony got really hot in the second half, but they needed I don't see Carmelo having like another game like that this entire season. Yeah,
They needed that to beat Ja Morant.
Yeah. He's gonna be an all-star this season, and he's gonna be.
Oh yeah,
I think, like so many people were talking about, I think the top 3 people around the league for most improved player has been, it's been like Michael Porter Jr., Jordan Poole, and OG Anunoby. Those are the 3 guys who I hear just all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Ja Morant has a legit shot at winning that.
He definitely can.
Because he's leading the league in points so far. He's shooting 44% from 3. He's shooting much better from the free throw line. He's aggressive. He's playmaking very well. Like the Memphis in general looks very good.
Yeah.
I am excited to watch that team. He's just electric. I just hope he learns how to land properly. I don't want another Derrick Rose situation where it's a dynamic guy who has one knee injury and he just can't get back to that.
Yeah.
But he looks really good. He looks like a much more well-rounded player.
I mean, that offense just circles around him. Like every possession, he's like driving in, kicking it out, or sometimes even like pulling it back, shooting a 3, hitting the 3s, drawing fouls. I mean,
he's getting to the line a lot. He's so aggressive. He doesn't fear anybody at the rim. He will go no matter who it is. He's gonna go attack.
Or they'll do like a wild like reverse layup.
Yeah,
under the backboard and just.
He looks very, very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see how Zion looks coming back, because that 1-2 in the top, that's a ridiculous top 2 selection. So that Memphis just in general looks really good, but Ja Morant, he's going to be insane.
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte, we mentioned Miles Bridges earlier. Charlotte looks really, really fun. They lost today in like a ridiculous game against Boston. They beat Brooklyn yesterday though. They started off 3-0 for the first time ever. I don't know if they're going to be a top 6 team in the East because the East looks very, very good this season. But they're so fun to watch. Like LaMelo Ball, I know a lot of people don't like him just because of all the attention he gets, but he looks so good. I think he's already a very good playmaker, but his shot looks much better. He's shooting great from 3. Miles Bridges, I mean, he just won Player of the Week. He looks great. Kelly Oubre looks like he's a good addition to the team.
Mason Plumlee is a pretty good addition.
Yeah, he looks decent. I think that's the one weak spot is that they don't have like a good backup center.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if they can make some move to get a good rim protector, I think they'll be really good. But they look fun. If you have a League Pass subscription, they're definitely a team that you want to keep an eye on. And then Denver, we are Nuggets fans. They had a bad loss.
Painful night.
But, yeah, I mean,
I'm just used to it at this point, especially against the Cavs. The Cavs just have our –
they have our number.
I
don't know how. Like last year we beat them. We destroyed them both times, but the season before that they won. The season before that they won. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what.
Mm-hmm.
It's so weird.
I know. They just can't. It's like they just have no energy against Cleveland ever. Like they just assume that they're gonna steamroll them. But I mean, as we've seen the past like 3 to 4 years, anytime Denver's playing a pretty bad team, they come out kind of slow and they just think that their talent is eventually gonna overcome it, which it usually does. But still, you'll have these games like this.
I mean, I think I will give some props to Cleveland. Cleveland looked decent today.
Yeah.
I love Evan Mobley. I think he's going to be ridiculously good once he can fill out his frame a little bit more and just expand his offensive game a little bit. But he looks really, really good.
Kevin Love, who I didn't even really know was still playing, he just kind of escaped my mind the past 2 years. He came off the bench and lit up the Nuggets.
Yeah. They look like they're a pretty well-rounded team. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I don't even think they're going to sniff it, but they definitely have a bright future.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't extend Colin Sexton, which I thought was very odd, because I think Colin Sexton gets a lot of hate that's kind of undeserved. I think he's a really good player, but I think they'll be good. They look good. They look decent. Isaac Okoro, his defense is ridiculous.
Oh my God. That one play against Austin Rivers, blocking him twice.
Yeah.
In one ISO.
Yeah. I really I still don't understand the signing of Larry Markkinen.
That was
I don't get why. I feel like if you had a starting 5 of
they have so many big people.
They have so many big, it makes no sense. I feel like the starting 5 of Sexton, Garland, Okoro, Mobley, and Allen. I feel like that's pretty good. I feel like that's decent. Markkinen, I don't get. I don't understand. But getting back to the Nuggets, they're going to be playing on a back-to-back tomorrow in Utah, and this is normally what we see from Denver. They just suck playing bad teams. I don't know what it is. We went 0-5 against the Kings and the Wizards last year, which is.
I mean, it's just. All right, I'm not even going to get into it.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
We're not worried about it. There's going to be a lot of casual NBA fans, even casual Nuggets fans are going to be like, oh my God, we lost to the Cavs. What's going on? There's bad stuff.
Yeah.
It happens
I mean, I'm really just not even worried about this team, really until Murray gets back. Just put us in the playoffs with Murray, whatever seed we get. I don't really care.
Yeah. It's a blessing to have this good of a team.
Yeah, and just know you're making the playoffs.
Know you're going to make the playoffs. So because then the regular season has just so much less stress. You don't really care about it that much. I love what I've seen from Jokic. I think in this game he had to be a little bit more aggressive, but he looked like he wanted to get everyone else looks, because honestly the shots that they had weren't bad. A lot of the shots they were really good looks.
It was just one of those nights where he just can't hit anything.
No, nobody was making shots. Monte Morris has had a really rough start to the season.
Yeah.
But
I mean, he's the assist to turnover ratio king, and he's been. I feel like he's turned the ball over more than he's assisted this year.
Yeah, he has a negative assist to turnover ratio on the season, and that's definitely it's not good.
Michael Porter has been.
He had a really good first game.
Yeah, he had a good first game, but like we said here, I think he needs to be more aggressive. I know his shot wasn't falling tonight, and it hasn't really been falling. But yeah, with Murray out, especially, he definitely needs to take over that. I thought he was going to, and I still think he will kind of take over that second score and be a 20+ point per game type of guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far just lack of energy, kind of.
Yeah. I can see the improvement on defense because his engagement on defense is a lot better, at least, and he knows where to be more. I mean, today was not good for him. Like, today was really bad for everyone involved. But in general, they still held the Cavs under 100 points. They still had a good defensive showing. They had a good. I thought MPJ played fine. He had good shots. He just missed them. But he has to be more aggressive getting to the rim.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I don't know how he can do it. Like, I can see that he's improved his handle, but he just hasn't done it. And hopefully tomorrow he'll be able to get that done.
Mm-hmm. And also like we've been like kind of harping on this with, I mean, Bones Highland should definitely be in the rotation. He played well in his minutes tonight, and just having Austin Rivers out there or Facundo Campazzo, I just think you need someone either stagger Will Barton / Michael Porter Jr. with the bench, or have someone like Bones who can just fill it up. Because I mean, that bench has no scoring whatsoever.
Yeah, absolutely none.
If like JaMychal Green's 3-pointer isn't falling, if JaMychal Green's 3-pointer isn't falling, like, that bench just can't score.
That's it. Yeah, and then PJ Dozier tonight really didn't look aggressive at all. Like, he really wasn't what I expected from him. Like, he first 2 games has been really good, but today that's kind of the story of the game. Everyone just kind of had an off night. But I think you got to have Bones in for either Austin Rivers or Facu. I personally would choose him over Austin Rivers.
I would too, yeah.
Just because I think Facu.
I really don't like. There's a lot of people who like hate on Facu. I don't think he's like really that good, but I don't really mind him. I think he's a good, obviously good playmaker. I like his defensive energy. Obviously he can't shoot at all, and he's just so short. Sometimes they take advantage of that, but I just feel like having him out there on the bench unit, and he can really swing the ball. I think that's what they need if they add a Bones out there who can score it.
Yeah.
And have Facu distribute it. I think I'd prefer Campazzo over Rivers.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, Facu, it's not that he's like you said, it's not that he's a bad player. He just has his limitations. And I think that if you put Bones, Rivers, and Dozier on the lineup, none of those guys are particularly great at playmaking. And then obviously, like, the JaMychal and Jeff Green, they're not playmakers at all. They're just spot-up guys at this point. So it would be very hard to have a flowing bench offense without Facu in there. And I think Rivers, he's more depth at this point. I love him on the team. I think as depth, he's great. But I don't know. I think Bones, he's just better at most things on the court than Austin Rivers at this point. And I think you just have to have a scorer with that lineup. Like, that lineup is so bad. The first 3 games has been really bad. I think they'll start to experiment with it a little bit.
I just wish Malone would like I want all the past 3 teams, like the Cavs, I see like Sexton and like Markkanen is out there with the bench, and then the other games, like, they'll have like Booker in there with the bench. And I just feel like we need, obviously it's hard with Murray out. I feel like him moving Monte Morris to the bench would make the bench a lot better.
Yeah. And a lot of it is also just the start of the season. He just wants to get as many starters as much rest as possible. Like, he doesn't want to overload anyone, because that's what happened to Jamal. Like, that's why he tore his ACL. He just overloaded too much, and it just eventually just broke. And like, that's what we saw from Jokic. Like, you could clearly see in the playoffs, he was just so tired. Like, he just couldn't get any lift on anything. It happened with MPJ. Like, I think he's just trying to get rest in.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't 100% love the idea of staggering. I think that it works. I think it 100% works. I think it's probably the best option in terms of efficiency, but just to keep people off their legs a little more,
Yeah, that's true.
I would like Bones in.
And it's unfortunate Jokic had to play 35 minutes against
Yeah.
the Cleveland Cavaliers when we got a back-to-back
Yeah.
at Utah.
God, I hate going at Utah.
I do too. Somehow they win the games a lot, really, at Utah somehow.
Yeah,
I hate that crowd.
They're all very competitive games, but
yeah.
Oh my God.
Anytime they play the Jazz, I'm just like, oh my God. I feel like the Jazz make every single
They don't miss, man. They don't have George Niang though.
Oh, wait, where'd he go?
He's in Philly now.
Oh, really? Let's go.
You don't know who George Niang is.
He spots up in the corner and drains every single shot.
Makes every shot. And he's like the Jokic of corner threes. Like he's not athletic, doesn't do anything else. He just sits in the corner, doesn't move, and drains every shot. And it's so annoying.
Yeah.
But I'm glad he's off. But I mean, still, like they're a good team. So
I could tell like Rudy Gay is gonna be really annoying. I think he might be out. But I know they picked him up.
Yeah, he replaced Niang, so that's definitely an improvement. Also, their rookie Jared Butler, he looked really, really good in the preseason. I wanted Denver to draft him. I don't know how he dropped to 40 in the draft. He was better than Davion Mitchell in college. Like I don't think that's a very unpopular opinion. He was better than him. It's just that he had a heart issue, so he fell like a lot, even though he should have been a lottery pick.
Yeah.
But he's really good. I hope they get him involved at some point because he's very, very good.
Yeah.
NFL time, right?
Yeah.
Yes. There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
A lot happened. All the games were pretty disinteresting. Like there weren't very many good games, but they all had a lot to tell. Like a lot came out of them.
A lot of like eye-opening games and surprising results, I guess. And we'll talk about those two surprising results, like the Bengals and the Ravens, Chiefs, Titans. I mean, like the Bengals Ravens game that really surprised me. I knew the Bengals were like good, I guess. But man, I didn't know they were this good. I mean, they're a legit playoff team. I mean, they could even be like AFC contenders. We'll see what happens down the line. But man, that defense is super underrated. The front four with Hendrickson and Sam Hubbard and DJ Reader, I think, is in there. Yeah. I think Hubbard had 9 pressures. Hendrickson had 8 pressures against Lamar, someone that the Broncos couldn't pressure at all.
Yeah, and they had 5 sacks against him. It's the most Lamar's had in his career. Yeah,
and that secondary is somehow good too. Like Chidobe Awuzie is like their number 1 corner.
Yeah,
and they lost William Jackson, who had been their number 1 corner for like the past 5 years. But they've improved. I mean, Jesse Bates is crazy, obviously, as a safety and just super well-rounded team right now.
Yeah, they're good. That the offense, I didn't think it'd be that. I think I was one of the people in the camp that thought they should have taken Penei Sewell, but obviously that's why I'm not an NFL GM, because Jamar Chase has, like, Justin Jefferson last year. I think he had the best rookie season of all time. I think the only person comparable is Randy Moss and Odell Beckham.
Yeah.
I think they're very, very close.
But Jamar Chase he's been better.
Yeah, he's been better than those guys, and a lot of people are surprised by it. I'm not really surprised by it because Jamar Chase was better than Justin Jefferson in college.
I'm surprised by it just simply because he hasn't played in a year.
That's the thing. He didn't play last year in college.
Yeah.
And he just comes out and is better than before.
And I didn't realize he was this like fast.
He's
like, I mean, just the best deep threat right now, I think. And I think it's safe to say like he's a top, 5 receiver in the league right now.
He's played like 100. He's insane. I
mean, you can even have a conversation that he is the best wide receiver in the league.
Yeah, right, he's playing like one, especially like because like you look at, I think Devontae Adams and Cooper Kupp are probably the other two in that conversation. But look at those two guys as quarterbacks completely different. They're completely different levels of quarterback. And Joe Burrow has obviously elevated his status this season, but he's still not on the level of Stafford or Rodgers. And Joe Burrow himself has also just played really good. And coming off of that injury, oh my God. That team is very good. That team is very good.
I mean, we were talking about, we've been like praising Marlon Humphrey this whole, like every single episode, it feels like. And Jamar Chase just kind of cooked him. He had that one long one where he broke Marlon Humphrey's tackle and just took it to the house. No one could catch him. We had another like back shoulder catch against Humphrey.
Yeah. 201 yards on him.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. That's nuts.
Against a good Ravens defense.
Yeah. The Ravens, I thought the Ravens defense was going to be bad just because of how many injuries
they've definitely improved.
They've been really good so far, and the Bengals has tore them apart. I take back everything bad I said about them because I remember before the Steelers game earlier in the year when they won, and that was kind of the game where it was like, oh, are the Bengals good? Like, because they beat up on the Steelers. And that was a game I was like, if they can win this game, that's a huge turning point. Because if they lose, I think Zach Taylor is going to be on the hot seat. But he has really elevated his game. So,
and I mean, if you're looking at the past, their two losses, Green Bay and Chicago, I mean, they had chances to win both of those games too.
They could be 7-0 right now.
Yeah, they got the Jets coming up. I mean, they're going to win that. I mean, man, this team. I mean, we're not even talking about like Joe Mixon, who's been crazy, and they got other weapons around like
Higgins, Tyler Boyd, really good. CJ Uzomah has had a really good year.
Yeah, the offensive line has been impressive. I mean, just everything going right for the Bengals, and Joe Burrow, of course, having a terrific year. I mean, he's just smooth, cool, calm, and collected. He'll make like every throw. You need him to, and
they know that his arm strength isn't like great, so they tailor a lot of their plays to that specifically, so they don't make him throw 50 yards down the field every single play. But when they do, it catches the defense off guard because their running attack is so good, because their over the middle stuff is so good. It forces those safeties to be up so much, and because Jamar Chase is just going to outrun anybody you put on him, it's an easy 30-40 yards every time they do that. Scheme is just really good.
Chase, like he could just run by a guy and then he could just like stop on a dime and have an insane comeback route. Or I mean, his route running, his there's no weakness in his game at all. Other than maybe like he's kind of short, but like
it doesn't matter. Like he's extremely physical for his size too. Like he beats everyone off the line. His press is insane. Like he can beat anybody if they try and press him.
I mean, he's got like Devontae Adams route running and like DK Metcalf speed.
Yeah.
Like combined into one body right there.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see how that LSU 2019 team is just,
oh my God.
By the week, it just gets crazier.
Yeah.
Because you had Justin Jefferson, Terrace Marshall, Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow. You had a stacked defense. Lloyd Cushenberry was a first round. But that entire offensive line, I think, got picked in the draft. They all got drafted.
Yeah, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who hasn't had that great of a start, but I mean, he's still solid.
Yeah, and he's also still hurt. But I mean, in that last year, he was pretty good. Yeah. That LSU team is ridiculous. The fact that that team won national championship and they have fallen so far just because everyone left.
Literally everyone left.
Everyone left.
And now Ed Orgeron's going to leave.
Yeah.
I kind of wish we talked college football in here, but
we can bring it in. I'm starting to get into it a lot more.
Yeah.
Last week was really bad, but last week there was no good games except the Penn State, Illinois.
Oh yeah, I know. The Big Ten is just so, I can't tell if they're like good or bad. Like I feel pretty bad, but man, I don't know. I was gonna say something. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the two. Like I'm just gonna be a Bengals fan for the rest of the year. The two like Ohio teams right now are just killing it. Ohio State and the Bengals look like, Ohio State's probably a top 2 team right now, and the Bengals look like a top 2 team in the AFC.
And Cincinnati's pretty good too. Cincinnati's top 2.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about Okay, yeah.
No,
and
the University
the Cleveland
Cincinnati.
Browns. yeah, Cincinnati too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we should move on. That was a long time on the Bengals.
On Ohio.
Moving on to the Chiefs Titans. This was probably equally as stunning of a result. Titans,
Man,
they really beat up on them. I was not prepared for. I picked the Titans to win. I didn't know they were going to win like this because they just tore up on them. They didn't even need Derrick Henry to do that much.
know. Yeah.
It was all through the air, which is.
It's still that presence of Derrick Henry, though, that allows him to do that. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, he only had 29 attempts, 86 yards.
He threw a touchdown.
Yeah, he threw a touchdown. That's right. But, yeah, the Titans, like, I mean, the Bills last week win that. The Chiefs this week destroy the Chiefs. I mean, that's like 2 games, you know, that you look at in the beginning of the year, and it's like, yeah, that's brutal. Like, that's 2 losses right there. But that's 2 wins right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like they could be like AFC contenders right now, especially with like Bud Dupree arriving. He had a really good game against the Chiefs. That whole him and Harold Landry. There's someone else I'm forgetting on that line. That
Jeffrey Simmons.
Yeah, and then you got Kevin Byard in the secondary too. The defense is a lot better than I thought. I'm not counting out like the Chiefs, or I mean, they don't look like a Super Bowl team, but like I feel like they're still going to make the playoffs. There's just way too many times of them. They can just still score at will, even though last week they only scored 3 points. I mean, usually they can score at will. And I think they'll still be a playoff team, but
I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned about them. I don't think they'll win the AFC West. I think they're a little too far behind. With how good the Raiders and the Chiefs have played, or the Raiders and the Chargers have played, I don't think they'll win the AFC West. I think they'll win. They'll make the playoffs. I wouldn't be concerned if I'm a Chiefs fan. I would be concerned about the defense. The defense still looks so bad. I thought that they had fixed some stuff last week, but oh my God, they have been ridiculously bad to start the year. Like,
I mean, the corners aren't good. Like, they can cover no one.
Yeah,
they can stop no one on the run. They just can't do anything. Like,
no, it's ridiculous.
They just get out. The talent level on the defensive side is not there.
Yeah,
like people are saying, like L'Jarius Sneed was like a steal, which he was, you know, kind of good his rookie year, kind of overrated a little bit. And he hasn't really done anything this year.
No.
But yeah, I mean that is concerning, and I don't know if it'll ever be fixed, really.
They would have to overhaul a lot.
Yeah.
So linebackers can't really cover anything. Like you said, their secondary hasn't been doing much. Their front line, the front 4 hasn't gotten any pressure the entire season, really.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a lot. They have a lot to fix.
Yeah, and I think we said with the Chiefs offense, I think I said like 2 episodes ago that the Bills like barely even blitzed. I know the Titans blitzed 1 time this entire game. And that's just how you stop the Chiefs. You just put people in coverage. Like, you know, it's only going to be Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. And you just force them to get open against, you know, 7 defenders back there.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't allow any one-on-ones, which is what a blitz does.
Yeah.
And so I think teams are kind of figuring that out, but you know, I still feel like the Chiefs offense is one of the best in the league.
Yeah, and a lot of people are also concerned about Mahomes. I'm not. I think a lot of people are saying that might not be the best quarterback in the league anymore, and I'm pretty okay with having that conversation just because, I mean, he hasn't been the best quarterback in the league this season, like, at all. But he's still good. Like, people are saying that, have they figured him out? I don't think they figured him out. I think they've just figured out the Chiefs' offense in general, and it obviously revolves around him. But they don't really have a running game. They don't outside of Hill and Kelce, they don't have another true secondary receiver. Like Josh Gordon hasn't done anything. I haven't heard his name like mentioned at all. So yeah, I think he'll be good once the system around him starts to change a little bit. But they have some stuff to figure out.
Yeah, I mean, you're like kind of seeing it like with other quarterbacks. It's like Matthew Stafford kind of in Detroit. Like he's got to score every single possession.
Yeah.
And he's got all this pressure on him. And now that like Kelsey and Hill aren't really getting as open consistently because the defense has kind of figured that game plan out. Like you'll just see him like in the pocket. It's like, do I want to throw that? It's like, no, it's covered, but it wouldn't have been covered a couple of years ago, but now it's covered. And then he'll try to go and scramble and do Patrick Mahomes type of things. And then that's where he's gotten in trouble this year.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, we'll see. Like we both said, I think they'll still make the playoffs. But
I think a big thing about it, this will be the last thing that I say about the Chiefs. Their last like 4 drafts, they've hit on a lot of gems. Like obviously they get Tyreek Hill in the 5th round. They get Mahomes. They get Chris Jones. Like they have drafted a lot of good players in the draft, but they have had absolutely no depth on defense drafted.
Yeah.
And I think that that's really starting to catch up to them. Like they've obviously stacked this offense with playmakers, but the defense, they really haven't paid any attention. So their front office has a lot of work to do in terms of finding guys who can make a difference besides Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially in that secondary. And I know they drafted like Willie Gay and some other linebacker, Nick Bolton, I think, recently. But I mean, they haven't really. Nick Bolton had 15 tackles against the Titans. But yeah, like they still need to draft. It's going to be like the Packers where you just draft defense every single year.
Yeah.
And just hope.
I guess now we'll talk about the first game of the week, the Thursday night game, which fortunately involved the Broncos. First 3 weeks, I was like looking forward to Broncos games. Now I'm like, oh my God, the Broncos play. This was bad. This was such a bad loss. The score didn't really dictate how much the Browns dominated them.
The Browns dominated the game, yeah.
I guess the game was close, but it really never felt like it. I mean, it was a 17-7 game at one point, and it felt it was unbearable. Like it was impossible to come back from that. And I think a lot of that, if not all of it, is on the coaching staff. They struggle to get any rhythm on offense because of Pat Shurmur. Just the play calling is dumb. That's completely limited by him. And then the defense has last 3-4 weeks has been completely unprepared on anything to do. And that's all on coaching. Like when the play is there, they'll make it, but they're not at all caught in the right scheme. Like the Browns ran the ball down their throat every single play, and they couldn't do anything about it.
I mean, I just felt like from the jump, like the line of scrimmage has been dominated by the opposing team the past 3 games, and that's why they've lost really. And you can kind of tell, like I remember like Urban Meyer, he would say like, you can tell whoever is winning the line of scrimmage is most likely going to win the game. And obviously the Browns won the line of scrimmage. I mean, Dearness Johnson, 22 attempts, 146 yards. I mean, you can do the math for the yards attempt. That's a lot. Yeah. And even their backup running backs, who I can't even like name right now, had over like 6 or 7 yards per carry in that game. But yeah, man, like the coaching, like you said, I mean, just no game plan by like Fangio, Shurmur. I don't know what they're doing on the offensive end. Teddy Bridgewater looks cooked.
And it like, I'm going to bring this up. Fangio talked about player safety with the Ravens, and he's like, oh, they're doing this, BS at the end of the game, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about player safety. Yet you throw out your quarterback who's clearly injured. Clearly injured. You throw him out against a very good front seven and let him get pummeled all night. You don't decide to make a change when he's clearly laboring. I think that is a very hypocritical statement to make when you don't believe in yourself. So I don't know. I just wanted to get that off my chest because I thought that was just ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, Cleveland looks good. Their offensive line is just crazy. Denver, again, wasn't able to get any pressure whatsoever. Von Miller had to leave, kind of precautionary reasons with his ankle, but he's fine. And I just feel like the Browns should run the ball even more. I mean, the only reason the Broncos were kind of in that game and the Browns didn't score like over 30 points was because I feel like they just went in the shotgun pass like way too many times. I mean, there was no need. Like Johnson had 22 carries. He probably should have had like 30.
Yeah.
And there's just no need to put Case Keenum or even, Baker Mayfield when you got that rushing attack. Like just be like Nebraska football or Ohio State football, like an old Big Ten team where you just run it down their throat.
Yeah.
Bully opponents. That running scheme is, the best in the league. And that I don't know why they do this whole shotgun passing thing. I feel like if they like combine the Niners offense of these like reverses and swing routes and screens and stuff, like put Odell in space, put Jarvis Landry in space, like just stop with this, like, regular shotgun stuff and just run it and run it and run it and run it.
Yeah. And the first drive was ridiculous. Like it took 5 plays for them to drive 75 yards to score a touchdown. 5 plays. And I'm pretty sure 3 of them were runs. And they just gashed Denver. And that was really happening the whole night. And if they can do that with Dearness Johnson, like, I can't even imagine what the score would have been if they had Chubb and Hunt.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Like, oh my God. And also another reason why this happened is because, once again, the Broncos, one, they're really small up front. We've said that the last like 3 or 4 weeks that they're just very small up front. But also they are so injured. It is ridiculous now because during this game, obviously we mentioned Von Miller got hurt. Mike Purcell got hurt. He got surgery on his finger. I don't know how long he's going to be out for. He was the only big guy on that defensive line.
Yeah.
Now you're going to be even more undersized. And then our backup inside linebacker, Micah Kaiser, he got hurt. So he's on IR now. So they have 4 linebackers on IR. I like at this point, like the team is just cursed injury wise. Like, I'm like numb to it. Like when he was hurt, I was like, oh my God. Like,
yeah, it's like
when Jerry Jeudy got hurt the first week, I was like banging the table. I was like screaming. I was about to flip over stuff. I was like, oh, this can't be happening again. Now I'm just like, oh my God, it happened again.
Yeah.
And it's just,
and they traded for 2 linebackers in this past week.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like the trade they did with the Rams. They got Young. I forget his first name.
Yeah,
right
Kenny
now.
Young. I really like that trade.
Yeah, I mean, he's a starting linebacker on a good Rams defense, and only having to give up a 6th-round pick for him, I think was good. But I mean, he'll probably get injured too. So
yeah, I think that'll definitely help. But I mean, at this point,
I just feel like this season just already like lost. Like I don't really care.
Because the schedule coming up is so hard. This was the stretch. This 7-game stretch was a stretch that we had to be over 500.
And being 3-0, it's like you could have just gone 2-2, and you should have beat the Raiders, and you should have beat the
Steelers,
the Browns, and the
Steelers. We should be 6-1 right now. Like I don't even think that's a stretch to say. We should be 6-1 right now.
Any team with this amount of talent on this roster.
The only team that we legitimately lost to was the Ravens.
Yeah.
Every other team, I think
there was a reason to beat them. Like every other team was either 1, didn't have their quarterback, 2, didn't have their coach, 3 has a quarterback that cannot throw the ball anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like just washed up. Like, those are bad teams at that moment.
Yeah.
And it's just, man.
Yeah, it's a bad overall. On a bright note, there was some positives that at least I did take away from this game. Cortland Sutton looks like he's back.
Yeah.
At least I still don't even think he's 100% because he still doesn't look like he's coming out of his cuts properly, and he still looks a little afraid to take contact down low, which I don't blame him at all for. But if they can get him a legit quarterback, he's gonna be a top 10 receiver.
I mean, he's definitely a top 10 receiver. Like he's a top 10 talent or whatever.
Yeah, but people are gonna start noticing him.
Yeah.
Like, he's gonna be in that conversation all over the town because he contested receiver wise, there's not many better than him. He's a great route runner for his size. He has great speed. He's got really good hands. Like
he's great after the catch.
Yeah, he does everything you need a receiver to do. And they can just get a quarterback to get him the damn ball.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's why I just think it's, I mean, well, Teddy's going to start this week, probably. And we'll see what it looks like with Jerry Jeudy now finally back. I think that could that'll really open the offense up more.
I'm really excited. I'm happy he'll be back. If we don't win against Washington with him back, then everyone's gone. Everyone's getting traded.
And it's definitely Drew Lock time. I mean, I feel like right now I feel like in the beginning of the year it should have been Drew Lock time.
Yeah, we thought Drew Lock should have started beginning of the year. I thought he should have started this game, especially with how injured Teddy was. I thought at halftime of this game, with how injured Teddy was, he should have come in.
Yeah. And I know we're like going back and forth. We were saying like, oh, I think they made the right decision with Teddy in the beginning of the season. But those are 3 bad teams. And
the hindsight's always 2020.
Yeah,
we're definitely seeing it. I also like Teddy isn't a bad quarterback. He's just not. He's very, very limited.
Yeah.
To what he can do.
He just can't stretch the ball at all down the field. And I feel like we've said this in the last episode, I think, with receivers like Sutton and Patrick, you just need someone who can at least give them a chance. Like Teddy doesn't even give them a chance to go get the ball.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like Teddy Bridgewater, he turned it over again today. He threw an interception on a ball that shouldn't even have been thrown. Like it was never open the entire way. Like if Teddy is gonna miss a lot of open throws like he did today, if he's gonna miss
Thursday,
Thursday. I don't know. He's gonna miss a lot of game throws like he did. He's gonna start turning the ball over more. Why not play Drew Lock? Because that was the knock on him, right? Like he can't. He's careless with the football. He turns it over. He can't make easy, accurate throws.
Well, guess what? Teddy now.
Yeah, apparently Bridgewater can't do it either, and it's probably because he's hurt.
Yeah,
very clearly injured. So
I just feel like with a bad offensive coordinator, with a bad offensive line, with a bad whole scheme, you just need someone with like talent who can maybe like win a game for you, just purely based on talent. And Drew Lock obviously has that. Like we've said, I think he's got, a top 5 arm in the league, up there with Herbert and not quite maybe Josh Allen, but like Herbert, Rodgers, and Mahomes and stuff. I just think the velocity he puts on the ball, and he can just fit the ball in anywhere. And he just throws the lasers like 20 yards down the field. But obviously
the thing is, like, he looked improved. The coaching staff made the decision to go with the safe choice because they wanted to save their job.
People are forgetting he looked really, really good in the preseason.
Yeah. I mean, when he played with the starters, he looked better. He was better than Teddy Bridgewater was when Bridgewater played with the starters.
Mm-hmm.
But Bridgewater, just the way he plays, obviously it's going to translate to different levels because that's just who he is. He's not a guy who needs a lot of playmakers to succeed, but also he is a guy who he needs playmakers in the right spots. And Denver, when they were healthy, definitely had him at both levels, but now they don't, and it's showing very clearly.
And it's just this whole Vic Fangio, just an old guy who just wants like conservative quarterback. I guess, and just doesn't see that you need to put a guy like Drew Lock out there who can go win you a game.
I will say I don't, with the way that this is happening, if the season goes how we think it's going to go and Denver doesn't win a lot more games, I don't think either Lock or Bridgewater's back next year. I think
that's another thing with starting Lock. What you have in Teddy Bridgewater. Everyone knew that. With starting Lock, you're going to see like, okay, do we have someone who could potentially be our franchise quarterback, and we don't have to take a quarterback in a weak quarterback draft class? Like, why not just see what he can do? See if you have to draft a quarterback in this upcoming class. And I just feel like if it's not like Matt Corral or I like Kenny Pickett out of Pitt too. If it's not one of them two, like you still don't know.
I think there's 4 good quarterbacks in this draft, and that's it. And even then, I wouldn't take him in like the top 5 of the draft. It's like Malik Willis, Matt Corral,
Strong from Nevada.
Yeah, Carson Strong, Desmond Ridder, that's his name. I was gonna say Spencer Ridder, but it's not him. Desmond Ridder from Cincinnati. I think
Sam Howell, who's had a bad year, and I really like the. If you haven't watched Pitt, and Kenny Pickett, like really look at him. I think he's like one of those he's gonna rise up, I think, in the draft board. So yeah, if it's like, we just need to see what Drew Lock is made of now. And
especially in a longer season, now you have more time to see that.
Yeah.
So I think
we'll see it with Washington, how the offense looks with Teddy. I think if if Denver beats Washington, but the offense still looks bad, like I think it's Drew Lock time. Obviously, if they lose, it's Drew Lock time.
Yeah.
If they win and the offense looks good with Jerry Jeudy, I mean, they're going to continue to play Bridgewater. So we'll see.
Yeah. I just don't like the fact of playing him over a younger quarterback and the thing is, like, the coaching staff definitely has a different point of view over this, and obviously they're smarter football minds than us. But I just think from an outside perspective, we can see it without the danger of like losing our jobs over a decision like that. But I just feel like that decision has to be made to save a season. And I think that they're too scared to make it because they know that if it goes wrong, they're going to lose their job. But I think if the Bridgewater decision goes wrong, they're going to lose their job anyway. So
yeah,
I don't see a reason why not. And literally after every single game, they're going to ask those questions like, oh, was Locke going to start next weekend? What's happening with Bridgewater? Blah, blah, blah. And they're going to have to answer the questions, and hopefully they make a change. Hopefully they do.
Yeah.
Just something has to change.
I feel like no matter really what happens this year, I feel like Fangio's gone.
Yeah. Unless we somehow make playoffs, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he got his chance as being a head coach. I don't think he's a great defensive coordinator. I think he's an all-time defensive coordinator, but I just don't think he's fit to be a head coach. And he looks like he's scared of changing things in mid-season, which is very odd to like. I mean, I think as a defensive coordinator, you have to be able to adapt to so many situations, but he just hasn't been able to do it at all in 3 years, which is very weird.
All right, should we go through the picks from last week? All right.
I have to go fast. Like 20 minutes on the process.
Oh, I know. This was a super good week for you, bad week for me. So obviously we talked about the Browns won that. I picked the Chiefs, you picked the Titans. We talked about that. Packers won. Again, I need to look at the scores. I always forget who they play.
Packers beat
Washington. Washington kind of had a chance here.
Yeah.
They scored 10 points, lost by 14. They didn't punt one time.
Washington?
Yeah.
Jeez.
They didn't punt a single time, and they scored 10 points. But I feel like they were kind of in that game.
They were
the whole time.
They were in the game. Yeah.
Next game, Ravens. We both picked the Ravens. Obviously the Bengals won that. The Panthers. Oh my God, man! We're feeling bad as Broncos fans. Panthers fans, like,
oh my God,
I thought that was a for sure playoff team, and the fans probably did too. And 25-3
to the Giants.
The Giants.
The Giants.
And the quarterback you traded for, who looked amazing in his first 3 games.
Oh, he's looked so bad.
Benched.
He's looked so bad the last 3 games. I wonder if they would. I know they're going to start Darnold. Matt Rule said that, but I wonder what PJ Walker looks like. I want to see what he looks like.
Yeah.
He's a rocket arm.
Yeah.
Fast.
He's 3 for 14 in the game, but
oh, jeez.
Obviously that's tough to just come in.
Yeah. Oh man. We both thought that they were legit. We both were super high on them. We both were super high on the defense. DJ Moore was having a great season. Obviously, Darnold was doing good, but oh my God,
it's bad. It's really bad.
Very bad.
And then the Dolphins, Falcons. You picked the Falcons. I picked the Dolphins. You won that one. Quietly, the Falcons are like in playoff position.
Yeah, they're 3-3 now, right?
Yeah.
They've been Matt Ryan has been really, really good.
Yeah.
The last 4-ish games.
The defense has improved, and Kyle Pitts looks like he's already, I think, the most like freakishly gifted. It's him and like Darren Waller, those two.
Yeah.
He's long, like really big wide receivers who play tight end.
Yeah. He's insane. They're finally just like giving him the ball, which I don't think Arthur Smith just like forgot that was possible. But now they're actually doing it, and he's ridiculous. Like the catches he makes, like his hands are really good. Great speed, obviously. He's huge. He's strong. You can do everything you need from a tight end. I think it's gonna be insane.
I think people were like saying at the time of the draft, like he was the kind of the safest pick in the entire draft, and he's showing why. I mean, he's just a stud.
Mm-hmm.
Probably already.
I also will say Tua last couple of weeks has looked pretty good. He's looked much better. Yeah. If they are indeed going to try and trade for Watson, which has been a rumor for the last 2 weeks, that Watson's going to go to Miami, Denver should get in on him. I feel like if you're going to move on from Drew Lock, you might as well try and get another young quarterback. Like, there's no reason not to. I know that we're much lower on Tua than I feel like a lot of other people are, but
yeah. I feel like actually a lot of Dolphins fans have been not really liking Tua.
He led a comeback. They're down 27-14, and they were.
But he had two like horrendous.
The interceptions were so bad. Interceptions were really, really bad.
And like again, I just feel like his arm is so average, and like so much of their stuff has to go down the middle of the field because I don't think he can throw to the sideline very well, which is what we saw in that one interception in the corner in the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I could see I don't want Denver to get Tua, but I can see like why. I mean, a top 3 draft pick and, still obviously a young quarterback and but
he's looked like an NFL quarterback.
He's been good. Like, I mean, I just feel like he's just an average quarterback, and that's what he's going to be in the league.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's not going to make you the plays that's going to really win you the games, but I mean, he'll probably keep you in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Patriots against the
Jets.
Oh yeah, this is like 54-13. Complete beatdown, and now Zach Wilson's out a few weeks.
He has. Yeah. I mean, we want to talk about the rookie quarterbacks a little bit. And he looked. I mean, he hasn't been great this season, but I mean, the fact that he got hurt doesn't help like at all. Mm-hmm. He's gonna be out a while.
Yeah.
But no, man, that team, the Jets. The fact they traded with the Eagles and they got Joe Flacco back, and he'll probably start, which is hilarious. Mm-hmm. He'll probably start until he's back. But the fact that they traded with the Eagles and they went for Flacco instead of Gardner Minshew is just hilarious to me. It's like they're absolutely not trying to win at all this season.
Yeah.
That move really showed it. They probably could have gotten Gardner Minshew for the exact same package, but they were like, you know what? No, we're going to get the worst quarterback.
Yeah.
On purpose.
He's just in such a horrible situation. I mean, they're on track for like another number 1 pick.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I haven't really looked at like the draft class like insanely much. It's going to be fun to talk about the draft.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's coming like I'm already like almost in the mid-season point.
Mm-hmm.
We might start talking about the draft a little bit, but
mock drafts are going to start rolling in. Pretty soon.
Yeah. I mean, like you just got to look. You got to look like at offensive line and wide receiver.
Yeah.
Again, I know that one guy out of Alabama, Evan Neal, the left tackle, is just like amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but another bad situation with the young quarterback. But I feel like this Jets management is going to make things right.
Yeah, they're much better than what we've seen from the past. Yeah. I think they're fine, and like them, they weren't going to win anyway. So I'm not bashing them as like, oh, look at them, they're not trying to win. I'm like, look, it's funny. They're not hiding it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's better than trying to hide it.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then on the Patriots side of things, Mac Jones has looked pretty good the last couple of weeks. I think I have stats on him. Hold on. I sent myself tweets about this. Yeah, Mac Jones, his last 4 games, 1,042 yards, 7 touchdowns, 73 completion percentage, and a 106 rating. So pretty dang good.
He is.
Pretty dang good.
He's consistent.
Really good.
solid.
Yeah, he's giving you exactly what you drafted him for. I mean,
Yeah.
a good.
All the I was gonna say is all the trick plays that the Patriots run are funny.
A lot.
I mean, they run so many of these trick plays, and they work. Jacoby Myers still has not caught a touchdown. I want to see in his career. I want to see if he'll ever score a touchdown. He's got how many? He's got 2 passing touchdowns in his career. 0 receiving. I mean, every time that they're inside the 10, like the commentators just always talk about Jacoby Myers. Like, this is going to be the one where he scores a touchdown.
And then they run it or throw it to Hunter Henry.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. We need to have a Jacoby Myers tracker week by week, see if he catches a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's insane. This is 3rd year in the league, and he hasn't even got.
I know, and he's been like a solid receiver. He's been their best receiver in the past 3 years too.
Yeah,
that's funny. All right, Eagles, Raiders. I picked the Eagles. You picked the Raiders. Raiders won, and the Raiders look pretty good.
Looks like Gruden was holding them back a little.
I know, right? That's what I was
much
thinking.
Better.
Yeah,
much better. Derek Carr, he's at 5 games of over 300 yards passing this season, which is insane. And he's probably putting himself back in the MVP conversation like he was in the first 3 weeks. So, I mean, everyone in the AFC West but the Broncos is going to be fine.
Yeah. It's funny how them and the Chiefs have the same record. Like I was thinking to myself, like at the beginning of the year, if you had told me through 7 weeks that the Chiefs and the Broncos would have had the same record, like I would be like the happiest guy on earth. Like, oh my God, we're like 6-1. No, we're 3-4.
Both are 3-4.
Yeah.
Both are equally shocking.
But I mean, I'm still happy that we got the same record as them through the 7 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, it brings me a lot of joy to see them struggle just because their fan base was incredibly arrogant, and also I hate the Mahomes family with a passion.
Jackson, and I feel bad for Patrick. He
needs to pull an Aaron Rodgers, just like cut his entire family.
Yeah,
and his wife is very annoying. Like this is all stuff we probably shouldn't be saying, but I'm gonna say it.
His wife is very annoying.
His wife is so annoying. She always is on Twitter like complaining about the refs. It's like he had a clean pocket, he threw it, and it was tipped at the line. Like what?
And then Jackson Mahomes dancing on Sean Taylor.
Oh my God, this is all karma. If they lose out the rest of the season, it's karma for that.
Yeah.
I also feel like we should talk about how Washington, like when they did retire his jersey, like they did it in such a terrible way. They didn't notify his family that was happening the week before.
I mean, they got to have the worst like ownership.
Oh my God, yeah.
Everything like in all of like pro sports.
They're so bad.
I mean,
it's so bad.
Dan Snyder is just disgusting.
Oh my God, he's such a horrible person.
Yeah.
I find it so hard to believe the NFL's investigation found nothing about him.
Yeah, right.
Like that's a complete lie. There has to be something.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be stuff in there that he just paid him off about. Like he's such a horrible person.
Yeah. Rams against the Lions. This was a fun game.
It was.
We both picked the Rams, obviously, and they won. But Dan Campbell, like I love Dan Campbell. I think they got their coach. Just the passion and everything. And then he starts out the game with kick and a fake punt. Yeah, they started out the game with an onside kick.
Yeah, they score the touchdown.
Fake punt
they score a touchdown. They get the onside kick.
Okay, yeah.
Like they score a touchdown, and instead of kicking it off, it's an onside, and then they get stuffed, and then it's a fake punt on like 4th and 7, and they get it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're 0-6 now, 0-7. You got nothing to lose.
Yeah, why not?
Just do that. See what you can do, and they hung around with the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, yeah, it was fun. Seeing the 2 quarterbacks go against their former team was cool. And you can just definitely see
DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams.
Oh my God.
That is a very good 2-headed.
Yeah.
lineup.
I was going to say, like, DeAndre Swift is like their whole offense right now.
He's very good.
Yeah.
He is really good. They have to draft a receiver, if they can just get a receiver and a solid like tight end just for some more weapons, I think they'll be pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
They're not pretty, but their offense is going to be really fun to watch because DeAndre Swift is very good.
Yeah,
like, really, really good.
I mean, they're wide receivers who caught a ball this week were Khalif Raymond and Kadero Hodge, and those were their wide receivers.
They have no one out there. They lost Kenny Golladay, and then there's nobody.
Yeah,
just absolutely no one.
I mean, T.J. Hawkinson, obviously, but
I forgot. Oh my God, they don't need a tight end.
I thought you were talking about more like a backup. Like
no, I completely forgot that they had. Oh, how did I do that? Their best player.
Mm-hmm.
They have him, but
DeAndre Swift, yeah, he runs the ball, he catches the ball, he does just seems like everything for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I feel like every game they've like kind of been in.
They've been close. They've been close a lot.
But you just kind of see like Jared Goff just cannot win you games.
Yeah. If he doesn't have a good roster around him, he's not gonna be a winning quarterback.
I mean, that's the whole thing. Like, there's some teams where like just because you're a good team does not mean the quarterback is good. And Jared Goff just is not. He just sucks.
He's the epitome of that statement.
Yeah. And you can just see like the Rams with Sean McVay and Matt Stafford. I mean, Stafford just the ability to open everything up, and Cooper Kupp, who is doing all this stuff now that he has a good quarterback. Yeah, I mean, Jared Goff was holding that team back.
Yeah. Cooper Kupp's on pace to go over 2,000 receiving yards.
Jeez.
I mean, I know it's in 17 games, but I mean, regardless, that's insane. He's having a great year.
Yeah, he's at 809 already, and he's got 9 touchdowns already.
Yeah. He's gonna have the greatest receiving season ever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everyone knew that when he was drafted, it was like, oh, he's gonna be good. And he had a really good rookie season, and then last year was really good. And this year, that quarterback change is insane.
He's already 28 years old.
Really?
Yeah, he was just drafted 4 years ago, and he's 28.
Jeez. That means he was what, like a 6th-year senior? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, obviously just, oh my God. Dude, his college stats are crazy.
He went to a small school, right?
Eastern Washington, his freshman year, 1,700 receiving yards, 21 touchdowns.
His freshman year?
Freshman year. His sophomore year, 1,400 yards, 16 touchdowns. Junior year, 1,600 yards, 20 touchdowns. Senior year, 1,700 yards, 17 touchdowns. And he's putting a year like that up now in the NFL.
Oh, he probably went JUCO for a couple of years.
Yeah, he must. It only shows us 4.
Yeah, because if he was 24 when he was drafted.
Yeah.
He had to have gone JUCO for 2 years. There's no way.
Redshirted his freshman year.
I mean, that's still like a year gap, though. Unless he's just like really old.
Yeah.
You know, he's just really old, got held back or something. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, he's really good, and the Rams are really good. The Bucks, we both picked the Bucks. They played the Bears, and that was just, man, I felt so bad for Justin Fields watching that.
Oh my God.
I mean, he just had no chance.
No, nothing. He was bad. Dude. Yeah. He was bad, but also like the coaching staff definitely hasn't helped him. On his first interception, he quick snapped it, and the coaching staff told him that there were 12 people on the field. That's why they quick snapped it, and they didn't, and he threw a pick because of it. So just bad all around. I thought that their defense had been improving, but they just let up a lot in this game. And
I mean, I don't understand like why there's no like rollouts or anything. Like they're just having him sit back in the pocket.
Yeah.
A 40-year-old left tackle and another right tackle. I don't even know.
Their right tackle has a 0 passing grade on PFF.
Really?
0.
How is
that possible?
Who is it?
It's something Williams, I think.
Okay.
It starts with a T.
Oh, wait, it's Elijah Wilkinson.
Is it? No.
They put starting right tackle. Oh wait, they put him on the COVID-19 list, so he wasn't playing.
Yeah. I wouldn't have been surprised if Elijah Wilkinson had a 0 passing.
Yeah.
Not great, by the way. But it's something Williams. I think.
I mean, he was just getting destroyed by JPP and
Yeah.
Shaq Barrett the entire game. I don't know why they don't do any rollouts or any.
They don't use his
runs.
athleticism at all. Like at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's very disappointing.
I mean, he's not a guy who just sits back and just fires bullets into tight windows like that. Like, he's not that type of player.
No.
And I don't know if he ever will be. And yeah, you just need to play to the strength. I hate the teams that no matter who they are at quarterback, they're gonna play their way. Like, they won't adjust to the quarterback they have. I hate the teams that do that.
That's why John Harbaugh is such a great coach, is because the second Joe Flacco got hurt in 2018, they put Lamar Jackson and they changed the scheme just immediately to fit him. Because he's the quarterback. He's the leader.
And same with Mahomes and Alex Smith.
Yeah, exactly. Like they switched it to fit them. Sean McVay switched the offense to fit Matt Stafford and help him just be the quarterback that he can be.
Yeah.
The Broncos are a victim of that. They don't change the offense no matter who's in it. The Bears are definitely one of them. And it's a product of just terrible coaching.
Yep.
It's very apparent. Bucks, I will say the Bucks they look really good.
Man. I think
look incredible.
Yeah. I mean, they look like the best team in the league right now.
Yeah, and
Brady,
I don't know.
He's probably the MVP of the.
Yeah,
I guess
him or Kyler Murray. To me.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I don't know if he's ever gonna retire because
I know
he just has not declined at all. Like, he's having like a better 40s than he was having in his 20s.
Yeah.
You can't say that about any other athlete in the history of sports, that their 40s are better than their 20s.
Oh my God.
It's ridiculous. He's 600 touchdown passes. 600? I remember when Peyton Manning hit 500, everyone was freaking out. And now he's at 600.
I mean, it feels like every week it's like at least 4 touchdowns he's throwing.
Yeah. I mean, it's unreal. He's ridiculous. I don't care that they're playing terrible teams. Like, he's doing it against the monster for 500 yards against the Rams. So,
I wish I was that guy who got the 600 touchdown ball.
Oh my God.
I would have asked. Actually, probably in the moment. To be honest, I would have probably just given it back. But dude, you could have just asked for so much, and he did get a pretty good haul.
Got a lot. He got a signed jersey from Mike Evans and Brady. He got a signed helmet. He got 2 season tickets to this year and next year.
And he got $1,000 thing to the team, which is kind of funny. He gets $1,000 to give right back to the Bucks. Like, that's the only way you can use it is to give it right back to him.
And then Tom Brady on the Manning cast tonight said he's going to give him a Bitcoin.
Oh, I saw that.
You're going to give him $60,000.
Yeah.
Like, if I got given the ball, like, I feel like we would have known the significance of it. He's like, oh, here, take it. Like, I can't have this. Like, this is yours. Like, 600 touchdown pass. Why are you giving it to me? Like, take it back, please.
Yeah.
But oh my God. Anyone smarter than us would have been like, no, I'm keeping this. I'm running. I'm leaving.
I'm holding this until you give me 200.
Until you give me ownership of the team. I'm not leaving. Going on the run.
Make me a part-time owner and I'll give you the ball back. Make me the GM of the team. Start me at quarterback next game.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even do that, actually. I don't want to do that.
Let me call the plays.
Yeah.
I want to be head coach. That dude got so lucky just because Mike Evans had no clue what it was.
You just gave him the ball.
Mike Evans had no clue of the situation. He's like, here, take this. That guy probably was like, what?
Yeah. I saw they showed like Mike Evans on the bench. He was like looking around and he's like, I gave him the ball. Like, you could see a mouth like, I gave him the ball. They're like, no. All right. Cardinals against the Texans. Cardinals win, obviously, and the Cardinals look good.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Texans defense looked pretty good in the first half.
They did.
Until it didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, nothing really a lot to say.
I don't think there's anything to take away from that. The Cardinals are better. They're a good team. That's really it.
Niners against the Colts. I think the Colts are really actually good.
They're starting to hit their groove.
Yeah.
And Carson Wentz especially is really starting to hit his groove. He looks incredible. Over the last like 4 games, he's looked
Mhm.
really, really good.
This was a really like sloppy, like everyone
Yeah.
was fumbling the ball around because it was horrible conditions,
Yeah.
which was fun. And the Niners, I did not expect them to be like looking this bad. They
They
just
look
don't.
rough.
Yeah.
They look rough. I think what you said earlier about a team being good doesn't mean the quarterback is good. That also directly applies to the Niners and Jimmy G. Like without the right pieces around him, it's just he's not a dynamic playmaker. His legs seem to just be gone, and I don't even blame him with all the injuries he's had. Like anyone's legs would have been gone after all that. 2 ACLs and an Achilles. Like, I mean, what are you supposed to do about that?
Jonathan Taylor looks like a stud.
He looks incredible. Holy cow. He's like a linebacker playing running back.
I know.
He looks really, really, really good.
I think Deebo Samuel's like the only bright spot. I think he's really
with George Kittle on IR, there's nothing they can do.
And I like the Colts. Like, I know they're 3-4, but that's got to be like the best. Like I told my dad, like, that's got to be like the best like 2-4 team of like all time.
Yeah, I mean, look at the Broncos were 3-4, and
I know, and the Colts were 3-4.
The Colts were there's a complete difference in how they play, and complete difference in how
I mean, their defense that was good last year is finally picking it up with Darius Leonard and Forrest Buckner, and then Bobby, who changed his name, Bobby Okereke. It's not Okereke anymore. He changed his pronunciation, not his name. But yeah. And then what's his name? The guy who had the pick six, Xavier Rhodes. He was just completely like washed at one point, and now he's back.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch like any of the games. I was watching basketball last night. Their defense looks much better. I can tell, like, just like just by watching highlights and just watching certain parts of the game, their defense looks much, much better.
Yeah, and Michael Pittman Jr. looks good too.
He looks really good.
Wide receiver. All right, and then the Monday night game that just wrapped up, Saints Seahawks. We both picked the Saints, and they won
13-10. Very boring game. I didn't watch a second of this one either because of the Nuggets game, but they started and ended like the exact same times. But apparently Jameis looked okay. I feel like he goes very back and forth on a lot of things, on a lot of games.
He's kind of shown a little bit more consistency.
I think they need Michael Thomas back.
Yeah.
Because that offense.
There's no one. They had Kevin White. Remember Kevin White?
Yeah.
They had him taking snaps this game.
Yeah, they need him back. They need him back bad.
Their number one receiver right now is like Marquez Callaway and Traquan Smith, and and that's rough.
Ooh. And especially because Taysom Hill is hurt, they don't have like a dynamic guy to give the ball to. Like, it's just Alvin Kamara, and he had a really good game today. I saw that.
I don't even know what the Michael Thomas like situation is.
I think it's his ankle.
Yeah, I know, but like, is he actually hurt or is he like holding out?
I think it's a combination of both.
Yeah,
because he's on the PUP list, so I think it's legitimately his ankle. They wouldn't put him there if it wasn't the PUP. They would just say he's out. But they need him back. I think they're going to bring him back next week, though. I think that's what they said.
Okay.
Because they need another big receiver to get the ball to.
Oh, and Demario Davis on their defensive end is just an animal.
Yeah, he's very good.
Like I saw, like, I think he's their best offseason free agent signing since Drew Brees.
That's
true.
That's probably fair.
Yeah.
that's pretty fair. They've really kind of drafted and developed a lot of their guys. Like, look at Alvin Kamara, you look at Michael Thomas, you look at Marshawn Lattimore. Like, a lot of the guys that they've gotten, they've just developed them.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Geno Smith. Like, the past like 3 weeks or whatever he's been starting, like, he keeps them in games somehow.
Yeah.
But then he has like the chance to get the last drive, and then he just completely is just one.
Yeah. He's not a starting quarterback, but he's not But the fact that they're in games, I think, shows that when Russell Wilson comes back, they're going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were fine with him, and I think they looked really good with him. So I think they'll be chilling.
Yeah.
We can go into the picks for next week.
Oh, right.
That's right.
Yeah. Let me bring them up. All right, Packers Cardinals Thursday night. This is a tough game already.
Oh, but Devontae Adams is on the COVID list, isn't he?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Cardinals. They just seem to somehow win their games every week.
Without Devontae Adams, if the Packers win without him, there's gonna be the Packers are gonna be elevated into a different tier. I think they're gonna be top.
All right, Panthers Falcons. Two teams going in opposite directions. I'm gonna just ride the hot team and go with the Falcons.
I'm gonna go with the Panthers. They're gonna get Stephon Gilmore back. I think that's gonna help a lot for the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Not back, but he's gonna play for the first time.
Titans Colts. This could be a good game.
Oh,
I think I'm gonna go with the Colts. It's at the Colts.
Me too.
They're two streaking teams right now.
Yeah.
All right, Dolphins Bills. I'm gonna go with the Bills. Bengals Jets. Bengals. I can't spell the Bengals. Steelers Browns.
They're not gonna. Are they gonna have Baker back? I don't think they've announced it yet.
I don't know. I feel like they would. He almost played Thursday, so
I'm gonna go with the Steelers.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the Steelers. I think they found a formula that works.
Mm-hmm. Eagles Lions. Go with. Could the Eagles win the Lions win their first game here? I can see it.
Is it in Philly?
No, it's in Detroit.
Ooh. I'm gonna go with the Lions.
Yeah, I think I will too. Actually,
you go with the Lions. I think that they can. I think they legit can win that game.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Rams Texans. This is gonna be ugly.
Oh, geez.
Rams. 49ers Bears.
I'm going with they can't lose to the Bears. Well, I don't know. Matt Nagy might not coach it because he has COVID, so who knows?
That's true.
Maybe not.
Yeah, actually, because he's not coaching it, I'm gonna go with the Bears. Patriots Chargers. It'll be a fun game, I think, but I'm just going with the Chargers.
Chargers, yeah.
Jaguars Seahawks. Seahawks,
yeah.
Buccaneers Saints. At the Saints, but I'm gonna go with the Bucs.
Yeah, this is a good NFC South game. That Bucs Saints is always entertaining.
Yeah, it is. Oh God, here we go. The Broncos and Washington.
I can't pick the Broncos. I can't.
No, I can't. That's what I was gonna say.
I can't. They
just can't win any game right now.
No. I'm excited to see Jerry Jeudy back. I'm excited to finally see a full game of Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton because it has not happened yet in their careers. I pray that one of them doesn't get hurt now.
I know.
But I am excited to see that. But other than that, they're gonna win. It's at home?
Yeah, it's at Denver.
I don't think that changes anything. Honestly.
I know. They seem to lose a lot at home nowadays.
Yeah.
Cowboys Vikings. I mean, the Cowboys look good.
Yeah, they do.
Giants Chiefs. If the Chiefs lose this game, that'd be.
They lose, dude. Oh man, that would be the funniest scene.
That would.
Oh, Twitter would be hilarious. They lose to the Giants. They can't lose to the Giants.
They can't. I don't. There's just absolutely no way.
There's no way.
All right. I think that'll wrap it up then.
Is that the Monday night game?
Yeah, that's the Monday night game.
Oh my God, why?
I don't know.
Jesus.
Because they just put the Chiefs on primetime like every week, it seems.
That's true. They do. But I mean, you couldn't have. Oh, that's disgusting. The Giants' offense is so bad, though. I feel like this could actually be a game that.
No, I feel like
defense looked good.
Yeah.
But And this is gonna be like the Eagles game. This is gonna be like the Eagles game. Like it's gonna be close for some reason, but they're gonna pull away at the end.
Yeah.
Or like it'll be close to the Washington game, where like it'll be like surprising at halftime, but
but then the
half,
Chiefs.
It's just because they're just more talented. They're gonna win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
All right. I think that'll wrap it up for this episode.
Yes, that will. Hopefully we'll see you guys next time. We'll have some more updates on the World Series, more updates on the NBA as the season kind of gets forward. Maybe we'll even talk about some early season awards, MVP, Rookie of the Year, stuff like that.
Maybe some college football.
Maybe some college football as well with the season starting to
Let's go, Bucks.
get down to playoff time. We'll see if we can talk about all that and more. So yeah, make sure to tune in for that. Thanks for watching and peace.